Good day. I am Vidyadhar Tilak. The slide shows my journey. Thank you for visiting my channel. People often ask me a simple question: who are you? The answer has changed over the years. I began my life as an engineer. Today I consider myself an engineer, a systems thinker, a teacher, and an independent philosopher. This channel is the story of that journey. I graduated in electrical engineering and completed my MTech at the Indian Institute of Technology in 1973. Engineering fascinated me because it teaches us one of the important lessons: nature never compromises. If our understanding is wrong, the system simply refuses to work. That lesson has stayed with me throughout my life. After graduation, I worked with Tata Motors and later with Cummins. For more than 50 years. I have been involved in designing sensors, actuators, and electronic control systems. Several of these products have been manufactured in millions of units and continue to operate in vehicles around the world. Seeing an idea become a reliable product has always been deeply satisfying. But engineering was never my entire life. Every evening after work, I became a student again. I read, I studied, I reflected. Not only engineering, but mathematics, science, history, philosophy, psychology, economics, and so on. Over the years, I realized that something is remarkable. Knowledge is not divided by subjects. The divisions exist only in our universities. Reality itself is an interconnected system. This insight slowly transformed the way I looked at the world. Alongside my professional work, I enjoyed teaching young engineers. I discovered that explaining a difficult idea in simple language is one of the greatest intellectual challenges. Whenever a student's eyes lit up with understanding, I felt rewarded. Teaching also taught me humility. When you teach, you discover how much more there is to learn. As the years passed, my questions became deeper. If I began asking questions that engineering alone could not answer. What is reality? What is consciousness? How does knowledge arise? What makes a decision wise? Can intelligent machines ever become conscious? And if it does, how does we ensure that it remains benevolent rather than merely intelligent? These questions have occupied me for years now. I describe myself as an agnostic, not because I reject spirituality, but because I believe genuine inquiry begins with intellectual humility. There is still much that we do not know, and admitting that is the first step towards the journey. I approach philosophy in the same way I approached engineering: observe carefully, question deeply, build models, test ideas, learn continuously. Over the last decade, these reflections have gradually evolved into a framework. I call it as pragmosophy or prajnadarshan. Pragmosophy attempts to integrate engineering, science, philosophy, and ethics into a practical framework for wise action. It asks us to move from understanding to reality, to acquiring knowledge, to developing values, to making better decisions, and finally to taking responsible action. In simple words, it is philosophy designed not merely for thinking but for living. Today I am 78 years old. I still work nearly 12 hours every day. part of my time is devoted to engineering projects, the other part is devoted to developing pragmasophy, writing books, preparing lectures, and creating educational videos. I consider this the most meaningful phase of my life because knowledge gains its greatest value only when it is shared. This YouTube channel is my contribution to future generations. Together, we shall explore engineering, science, ancient wisdom, modern philosophy, systems thinking, artificial intelligence, and the future of humanity. My hope is simple that we build not only smarter technologies but wiser human beings and perhaps one day wise intelligent machines that work alongside us for the benefit of all. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these ideas resonate with you, I invite you to subscribe and become a fellow traveler in the search of wisdom. Welcome to Pragmasophy. Welcome to the journey. Thank you. Thank you very much.